Hey, what's going on? It's week 3. We're facing Terminal. We're jumping right in. Easy peasy. I know, I'm hitting you with the match instantly. Yep, that's the one. Easy peasy. Hit him with a set. Figured I'd go over stuff after. Didn't really feel like doing it up front. Just because I haven't really had a chance to mess around with the editing software yet. So I technically still don't know what I'm doing. So I don't want to like throw it in and then have like sections of like 10-20 minutes where there's just nothing happening. So which I guess I could find out, but I also don't want a lot of like delayed time between when the match actually happens versus game 2, game 1. Versus when the match happens and when I upload, just because I feel like it's more hype to see it like fairly quickly afterwards, like same day-ish. This minus X-Cloud, this is more or less what I expected. No ground types, which is amazing for me. You want time to start? Cool, sweet. All right, we rumbling. Okay, this could be Rain Lead. This could be no Virizion either. Although I have 3 flying types, so I guess it makes sense. I did some prep into Virizion, especially with like beat up strats. I feel like Sneasel's probably a good lead here. Politoed. This team is fairly slow. What's the speed tier for 68? I'm thinking these two. Do I like Dragalgian back here? Am I scared of anything? Skarmory looks not bad either, honestly. Physical, special, could be special, physical. Physical Skarmory back. This also doesn't really look bad either. It's time for Dragalge to shine. It hasn't had any time yet. Butterfree, Barraskewda, interesting. Sash, Life Orb, okay. Butterfree, is Butterfree max speed? I'm EV to just barely outspeed max speed Butterfree, so setting Trick Room is like kinda cool, but not super cool. Oh, but my Magnezone definitely deals with it. Crunch. This thing gets taunt. I think I just U-turn into Butterfree because it has the sash. Yeah. U-turn, Butterfree, set, Trick Room. U-turn out of here. This is Sleep Powder. This could get gross because that wasn't following me. Could get gross! Hurricane. Okay, cool switch. Trick Room goes up. Beautiful, beautiful. Honestly, no switching to Discharge. Or do I? Rain isn't up, so Discharge probably. Am I worried about the pair that much? I feel like I should Protect. What are my stats? What I run? HP. Okay. Honestly, I think I just Discharge and Protect. Politoed comes out. Cool. Sets the Rain. That's fine. That's fine. Big Discharge. Big damage. Para's lucky. Well, Para's always lucky. It's probably going to underspeed me now, which is kind of awkward, but Para is, I would say, always beneficial, even if it drops the speed, just because if you get paralyzed, you just miss a turn, which really sucks. This could be Protect again. With Rain set up, I think I just run Thunder. Yeah. Thunder into this slot, Horn Leech into this slot. Paralyzed. Ah, man. That, yeah. And exactly my point. Like, the para there, even with the drop speed, paras can just be brutal. Could be Ice Fang. Should take it. I think I just Horn Leech here. Yeah. That's GG. Man. Yeah, paras. I mean, I'm running Discharge, so like 30% chance to para is like. I'm not running it for the paralyze, but like you're kind of running it for the hacks a bit. So like, I don't know. Just by running the move by default, I think you're opening yourself up to hacking somebody. So, do I feel good about the para? No. Do I think it ultimately in the end matter? Depending on what it was. I don't know anything about what the Polito's running because I did like, I don't know, 74% to it up front, but so it could have been something, I don't know, like Scald burn into Trevenant or something, I don't know, but what do I think the adjustment is here? I definitely bring Magnezone again. Magnezone goes in here. Do I like Skarmory into this team? I still kind of like Dragalge, if I'm being honest. I'm just running the same 4. We'll see what happens. Sneasel, okay, so this... Yeah. This is more like it. I wonder if this is going to be a Hurricane into the Trevenant slot this time. Like, double in, like, Hurricane, Triple Axle or something. Could also just fake out the Zapdos. Fake out Zapdos Hurricane? Probably doesn't want Trick Room up, though. That is the question. That is the question. If I just do the same... Do I... I think he's worried about Trick Room going up, right? You turn the Sneasel. What if I protect this turn? Nah, let's run it. Okay. Am I stupid? I'll never melt ice. I'm stupid! I'm so stupid! Oh, I'm so dumb. Triple Axle U-turn. This could be Hurricane, honestly, in either slot. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. Never Melt Ice, actually, I think, just destroys me. Me sleeping here is kind of bad. I'm going for the Discharge. Are we going to see a Sleep Powder again? That's big damage. Yep. Sleep Powder. Yep. Makes sense. That's pretty bad. I gotta hope I wake up turn 1. Hurricane. Yeah, might as well double into the slot. Woke up. Nice. Okay. There's a chance. Turn 1 wake up. That's big. And the para. Honestly, you turn into that to preserve my stats. And then I thunder into this slot. Yeah, protect. Makes sense. Alright, this game is still winnable. Still winnable. Magnezone is tough to remove. Did we see the item last game on this thing? I don't remember if we did. Honestly, I think I just close combat into this and thunder into this. Let's see what happens. I don't know. I don't think I didn't find out this item, I don't think. God, that turn 1 wake up was, like, I think actually, it may win me the game. Because if I don't wake up there, turn 2, Zapdos has to eat a triple axle. I just barely lived it. Crit may have mattered. I don't think so, but it could have. Scald into Thunder. Yeah. GG, brother. GG. That game too was that a roll? It's possible. Was that a roll after the turn 1 wake up? Turn 1 wake up. Sleep powder. This needs a discharge. Oh, discharge? I'll send you the paste so you can see my views. Yeah, okay. Copy. Do a little bit of this, close that, open this, upload share. Should be SFW. Sorry, just doing all the housekeeping stuff. I know this is never the fun stuff to look at. Okay. Alright. Okay. I will also send him my paste. Copy. All right. Well, I'll go over my. Well, let's take a look at this. So my biggest threats here were obviously Politoed, Sending Rain, which I took a little bit of advantage of with my Magnezone set, as you can see with Thunder. But Politoed, Setting Rain for big damage from Barraskewda, who's very fast, hits very hard. Also reduces fire attack damage for Virizion, which is nice, and for Sneasel, although Sneasel's pretty frail, so it's, you know, unless you're running it bulky, it's probably not tanking it. Nevermelt Ice was great tech, just because, as we'll see later, my EVs are set to assume like Sash, so and tank a hit and then deal damage back or get out of there. Butterfree was also assumed, and honestly, I was assuming one of two. Let's see, 3-5. One of the two of the ground types here, either Golurk or what even the heck is this middle form? I don't even remember what its name is. Krokorok, yeah. Yeah, Krokorok with like Eviolite or something. Just because ground damage, or ground into my team is like both really bad but also good. So like I have 3 flying types that are just completely immune, but then like Magnezone's quad weak, Rhydon's weak, Dragalge's weak, Dedenne's weak. So like, I don't know, ground type is like good and bad into my team, if that makes sense. So I was expecting at least one of them to make an appearance, just so like Rain just didn't go, or so my electric moves just didn't go bonkers, because Magnezone into this matchup looked fantastic. It didn't really want to take a close combat from. Why am I drawing a blank? The name's like right here, Barraskewda. What the heck? My brain is failing me. But yeah, so Setting Rain, having that option, fast fake out like taunt, triple axle with Nevermelt Ice, as we saw, was really good. Beat up into Virizion, it could have been really good. I was prepared for it, both like on both of my lead mons, so Zapdos and Trevenant. I was EV to live virtually anything that they used. But so I guess like these were the mons that I was most worried about. Slowbro and Trick Room could have been interesting. So like if I said Trick Room and then he had that to swap in, that would have been pretty sweet. But like between my Steel type, Star type, my Poison type, so like Psychic could go into this, but like I had a good switch into Poison with my Dragon Poison type. So like I don't know, it was, my strategy was going to be the same regardless of what he brought. I was just hoping we did to not see the 2 ground types or the slower Trick Room run. So like yeah, so I guess this is what ended up being the team, which is good. Takes advantage of rain, but I had prepped to deal with this in the hopes that the ground types wouldn't show up, which is what happened. So I kind of lucked out on the turn on the matchup side of things. So but let me go to close these out. Let me go to the team builder. Lipard is just really fast, max speed Lipard with max HP with Sash, just to, I don't need any offensive EVs, so I just put it into the defensive and speed stats just because I'm running Foul Play anyway. I decided not to lead it this week, mostly because prankster stuff into Sneasel, who was gonna likely show up as one of the lead mons, makes it useless, and then running Foul Play into Sneasel probably isn't dealing, I mean, it probably does okay damage, even if it's resisted just because it's not the most defensive mon, but I didn't think this would have been a super great lead into the team unless I was like really worried about like physical offense. But I ended up just EVing Zapdos, max HP, almost max defense, and then 20 speed with Jolly Nature, just to make sure I could outspeed the Butterfree outside Trick Room and all the base 70s and below, but also without any like attack boosting item, Zapdos tanks a triple axle at like some like 10% or less. So he tanks it, and then my strat was to U-turn out into like, as you saw, Magnezone or even Drigalgy, depending on what the situation was or who I brought, or even Skarmory if I decided to bring it. So I was running a super defensive variant with Rocky Helmet specifically for Triple Axel to deal as much damage as possible, which I thought was fun. I thought it was a unique set. I mean, normally, at least I don't think you see defensive Zapdos very often, and its attack stat is still really high, so with Stab, Brave Bird, or Close Combat, it still does big damage. So I had fun coming up with this set, because going into this, I was a little stressed about how I was going to deal with the offensive pressure that his team has, especially between like Barraskewda and like the speed too. The offensive pressure, the fake out, and all that stuff. He has a pretty solid team that has a lot of like tricks that you have to be aware of. So I felt kind of forced to do something kind of weird that you wouldn't normally see just to make it work, which I guess is probably how everyone thinks about their matches, is they have to do interesting stuff to get out of situations that they are expecting. But this set is probably one of my favorite ones that I've made, I think, so far this season. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It didn't really actually, Rocky Helmet I don't think came into effect ever. I don't think Zapdos took damage because I always U-turned and switched it out, but Defiant was irrelevant. Honestly, the only 2 moves that were relevant were Detect and U-turn, so I mean, good for Zapdos. And then Trevenant was Mental Herb just in case, Taunt goes into it for when I'm setting up Trick Room, which I knew I wanted to run based on the mons that were brought. He brought a lot of fast mons. So, and even though Zapdos I EV'd to outspeed 70 and below, the rest of my team was meant to be, Schmoomin and Trick Room, so that was the main goal coming up front. And then Frisk, this is the first time I've actually, I think, used and led with Trevenant. Frisk is, I see it, help you guys out in the league, but I've never actually used it myself. Oh my god, it's so nice. I get to know what the items are. Are you kidding me? That's busted, man. But Trevenant is also EV'd to live. He's max or defensive nature with 180 EVs in defense and then 252 HP. He also tanks an unboosted Triple Axle, which with Never Melt Ice means it's boosted, so he's not tanking it. So that was a smart move on him to run that. Again, everyone has access to the same calc, so he probably realized I could have run like super bulky variants and was like, nah, let's just do big damage. Which, it worked. Game 2 was terrifying. But I ran Protect, Horn Leech just for HP recovery and good stab damage. Trick Room obviously, because that was part of the plan. And then Rock Slide, in case I was in against Butterfree, I had a means to damage it. Even though I could have run like Shadow Claw or something, Ghost moves into this team, other than into Golurk, were like kind of, I guess, and Slowbro, were like good, but not dealing as much damage as I wanted to. And I feel like a spread Rock Slide, specifically for Butterfree, if it was on the field with Rage Powder and stuff. Actually, Rage Powder doesn't affect grass types, so I guess it doesn't matter. But I don't know. I guess my thinking for Rock Slide was, give me the flinch bait. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I guess by default, by running kind of like Discharge, it has side effects that are beneficial if they happen. So maybe a little bit of a scumbag pick. Unintentionally for scumbag purposes, but just by having it, I guess it makes me one. Skarmory's 30 leftovers. This is the same set as last week. I decided to bring it again because it had a pretty decent matchup into the team. The only difference, what was the only difference? No Whirlwind, I had Drilpeck instead. Specifically as a hard counter into Virizion, just because Body Press is probably not necessarily gonna cut it unboosted, but quad effective Drilpeck, even with no offensive investment whatsoever, still destroys it. So I wanted, and plus it's good into Butterfree too, and Butterfree quad resists Body Press, so I didn't want like a Rage Powder Body Press to just suck it in and then have his teammate just go off on me. So that was the one switch for this week. Actually, I think I ran Bold last week too, which was minus attack for foul play. This week I ran Impish, so that was minus special attack, specifically for Drilpeck. Dragalge did nothing but come in and die. Or sorry, get put to sleep and then die, which is fine. At least it wasn't Zapdos or Magnezone. But this one was just meant to just be in Trick Room and just take KOs. Between Life Orb, Adaptability, Draco Meteor, Sludge Wave, Scald, Sludge Wave, especially if I was next to Magnezone at any point, which I was at one time. I was asleep, unfortunately, but Sludge Wave could have been fun tech. Just because this also has a high, I think like 30% chance to poison, which is kind of cool. Which could help with like Sash on Butterfree and whatnot. On top of just dealing huge spread damage between Life Orb and Adaptability. So, and then Scald also for the Rain if I wanted to, you know, Adaptability makes it so that you generally want to click one of your stab moves, but Scald in Rain, especially against like the ground types, could have been really nice to have, and not having to worry about clicking Sludge Wave, which is not very effective, or Draco Meteor, which drops my special attack. So if I wanted some longevity on the field, I could have just clicked Scald instead. And it's just max HP with max special attack quiet, so nothing crazy. And then Magnezone this week, who went bazonkers. I ran with Sturdy, the classic Sturdy, this week, just in case there were ground types. I wanted to make sure I could at least tank one hit and force Terminal to either double into it or I'd get an attack off. With Magnet, I didn't want to run Life Orb specifically because of Sturdy, just in case I needed it, so I decided to run another offensive item, Magnet, just to, you know, deal massive damage. With either Discharge into Protect or Thunder because of the Rain, makes it so that it can't miss, which is just massive damage, and then Flash Cannon just for stab coverage. And then another Quiet Nature, just like Dragalge with max HP. Actually, I think the EVs, are identical. Exactly identical on this set. Min speed, max special attack, and max HP just to tank hits and then deal massive damage back. So that was the team. I did have a lot of fun. I mean, I have a lot of fun prepping every week. Just because I think part of the chess game that we play in these and trying to figure out what your opponent's going to bring and what their strat's going to be and all that stuff, I think that's fun. It's the game outside of the game before you play the game. So I enjoy the whole process, win or lose. But thankfully the prep this week did help out. Terminal also mentioned that his set was lost and he had to rebuild fairly quickly, so that may have had an impact in the match as well if he didn't remember exactly what he planned for and had to throw it in. But either way, that game 2 was fantastic adaptation. I without the turn 1 wake up for Magnezone, I'm pretty sure I lost. So just because he could have, my detect on Zapdos had already gone off. So next turn I either have to go for the double and hope for the best, which I didn't do. I basically just prayed that I woke up with Magnezone. And thankfully I got lucky and got the turn 1. So But GG's to Terminal. He's got a good team. He's a good player, so I'm sure he can bring the season back, which would be fun to see because he's got some sick strats. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. Keep it pretty short. But I have another match in 4 days on Sunday. So another match coming up in 4 days, and then we're right back into it. I haven't finished prepping for that yet, so I should do that at some point, hopefully soon. But thanks again for chilling, guys. It's always a pleasure having you here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again soon. Peace.